All right. Hello, ladies. StreamYard was not letting me share my screen, so I'm just going to record. So I'm going to go ahead and start with one per person just so I can get through them all. I'll get through as many as possible before my kiddo comes home, and then if needed, I'll do more throughout the week. Okay, so first and foremost on this one, elbows do not need to be so wide, okay? I would recommend Facebook is annoying me why this is all up in my face. So what I would recommend is bring your elbows down to your pelvis. Just hold it. So your upper arm is almost like squeezing your sides so you have more control over your dumbbell versus putting your shoulders in a potentially compromised position. So I would definitely drop your shoulders down or your elbows down. No need to have them up. Everything else is looking great. A few things I look for. Let me pause this at the bottom. A few things I look for is the angle of ankle and knee. Melissa, you are perfect because your toe is here facing forward and your knee and ankle are perfectly in line and facing the same direction as your toe, so no change. However, let's now talk about your elbows. So do you see how if you look, your upper body is actually slightly rounded? If you tuck your elbows under, so your elbows are facing the ground versus facing the side wall, it will allow you to open up your chest more and have a more proper postured upper body versus just kind of leaning over because now your wrists are all kind of cranked trying to hold on to that dumbbell. Let me know if you have any questions on that. Other than that, this looks fantastic. I want to remind people, everyone skins the cat differently. And so I'm here just sharing, my take, my form, all of that. But, choose what you align with. So Brittany, let's go ahead and do this one. So the main thing I see is you're actually bringing your knee forward. Okay, so now you're bringing in more abs versus this is actually a glute exercise. So what I would really focus on is this knee needs to come slightly forward so your hips are stacked right on top of your knee. Just bring it forward just a little bit. Secondly, your other knee is here, but in reality, it should be in the same line up here. Okay, so instead of bringing your knee forward like this, think about bringing your knee up like a fire hydrant, okay? You'll get way more out of it for your glute than going forward like that. Okay, let me know if you have any questions on that one. Like I said, let me do one per person for now. Beautiful. Look at your elbows. Your elbows are tighter to your thigh. I think that's great. The biggest thing I see here is watch your chest, okay? Remember, squatting is not a folding motion. Make sure your chest is staying nice and high, abs are staying engaged, ribs are pushed down to your pelvis to keep your abs nice and engaged. Oop, okay, here are a few other things I see. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't get this dimmed screen off of here. It's really annoying. So for you, it looks like, Shannon, you need to rehab either your hips or your knees a little bit. If you watch your knees, particularly this one, you have a lot of lateral movement. See how they're going out and now they're being pushed in? It's actually called knee valgus. So first and foremost, I would say slow it down to practice keeping that control. Another thing you could do is put a band around the top of your thighs so you're forced to essentially hip abduct. You're forced to keep your knees out to help train those muscles. You definitely need to slow down though, okay? Overall, you really did a fantastic job. It's just simply rehabbing whatever's causing that knee valgus. Keep your chest up. Nicely done. That was a great one. All right. Brittany, I think I did one for you already. Let's jump to, okay, I do want to talk about this one. So although this is great, you're using your abs to keep your leg up. You're I assume you're doing this as a leg extension, you'll get far more bang for your buck if you allow your upper thigh to be fully supported versus you just raising your leg in the air. So sit on a chair, sit on a couch, an ottoman, a bench, to basically the top of your knee, so like the bottom of your upper thigh to your butt is fully supported. And so then you can actually isolate your quad muscle and lift way, way more versus how you're doing it here. Although it's very creative, very innovative. Christy. Okay, Miss Tiara, let's drop down to you. Good. Okay. The first thing I see right off the bat is your shoulder is just a little bit elevated. And it's mainly right here. Your shoulder, when you're bringing your arm up, your shoulder is actually going up first, then your arm is coming up. Let's watch that again. So watch your shoulder. It comes up, then your arm comes up. We want to avoid that. We definitely want to avoid that. Your bottom position, let me give a pause. Here, your bottom position, gorgeous job, gorgeous job. If this is a supinated grip lat pull down, so your palm is facing you, which means you're mimicking a chin up. Beautiful. But as you bring that band back to the starting position, keep your shoulder blade really pulled down, down, down. It should actually not move at all. The only thing that's moving is your arm is allowing itself to come up to the top. Your shoulders should not come into play at this part of the movement. Okay? The other thing I would recommend is not to rotate like that. Tiara, unless I specifically said to rotate, which I don't have your program pulled up in front of me, but I highly doubt that. So unless I specifically say to rotate, I would recommend not doing that. If it's simply a single arm lat pull down, pull it down to the side just as if you were using two arms, or pull it down to the center as if you were doing a neutral grip, right? Rather than doing that rotation. The rotation is not bad. I'm simply telling her don't rotate because it just wasn't the purpose of the program. It's fine to rotate if you want to change up your lift, add progressive overload, that type of thing, right? You want to be doing different stuff all the time. So the main thing for you, Tiara, keep your shoulder blade down and in position so when you're pulling and releasing, you're using your back versus using your neck and your traps. Good job. All right, Miss Casey. Let's see about this angle. Whoa, okay. Slow, way, way down, first of all. And I would recommend not bouncing off the ground because then it's just like momentum is doing a lot of the work. Your sweatshirt may be off the ground, but it looks like you're actually tapping the ground. You got to slow way, way down. That is my first recommendation. Count like 1, 2 as the down phase versus you're doing like a quarter of a second. Okay. The other thing I would highly recommend, let's see if I can pause this fast enough. Okay, so your arm is here. This is the angle of your arm, right? So if this was 90, let's say like, oh gosh, what is that math? I hope this makes sense, but it would be like negative 45 degrees, right? I'm like, no, what's 90? So it would be like 135 degrees. I hope this makes sense. So your arm, if this is 90, and this is 180, you're at 135 degrees, okay? You actually want to be opposite. So if this is 90, your arm should be here, a 45-degree angle down, because essentially you're so here's your elbow, here's your torso, here's probably your other elbow. So you're putting yourself almost in like a V, right, or a W shape. You actually want to completely switch it. So your shoulder should be down, torso down. Okay? That way you're protecting your shoulder and using your chest versus this actually most likely puts a lot of it in your neck. So instead of your elbow here, bring your elbow down here, and the dumbbells should be right at the bottom of your sports bra or right at the nipple line, for lack of better words, okay? So just as a recap, slow the movement down a lot. Slow it way down. Bring your elbows down to 45 degrees versus bringing them up above your shoulder. You should never have them past your shoulder line. I wouldn't even have them equal to your shoulder line. Bring them down a little bit more towards your hips. Good. That will be a great correction. Let me know the difference that you feel. It will be huge, huge, huge. Okay. Beautiful, ladies. I'm so glad that you're posting all of these. Okay. Again, I just want to do one each just to share. Oh my God, I'm like, why is there a guy in here? Anastasia, that's so funny. Okay, cool. Love it, ladies, love it. Tiara, obviously feel free to send me these over WhatsApp too. Okay, beautiful. Kimberly, let's do it. Okay, gorgeous hip hinge. Let me just start with that. Gorgeous, gorgeous hip hinge. This is beautiful. We went over this a lot today. A few things I see. Make sure that bar is touching your thighs at all times. It could be, but it looks like on the way up it might not. The other thing I would say is, let's take this out. Look at that neck angle. I do this too sometimes, so I totally get why you're doing it. But honestly, for really proper lifting, for healthy living, healthy lifting, just bring your neck into a nice neutral position. Okay. The other thing, your shoulders are slightly rolled forward, which your head is probably actually making it worse. It's definitely not helping, just kind of being totally rolled forward like that. So pretend like there's a string on your chest pulling up to the ceiling, which is naturally going to cause your shoulder blades to pull back so your chest is opening, and then push them down into position. Okay. Okay, the other thing I see, okay. I was like, that was a better one, but you're going down. Let me check it again. Yep, okay. So I'm going to explain it and then we'll watch it together. Your very initial movement, the very first thing that your body does is actually bending at your knees. This is a no-no because this is what I went through in our live video today with the RDL. Your first initial movement needs to be a hinge at your hip. If you bend at your knees, your hips are naturally pushing back, which is going to make it more like a squat. Okay. So, bam, there it was. Did you see that? So stand up, watch your knees. Bam. Is that the first initial movement is bending your knees. So let's take that out and just think about, I'm going to kiss the top of my hips or the back / top of my hips, like right where kind of your underwear sit. I'm going to kiss that to the very top of the ceiling. This is really an outstanding RDL. Just a few minor adjustments. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, ladies, let's keep on going. Ooh, clean and press. I would love to do that one. I'm actually a certified Olympic weightlifting coach, which I don't really advertise, so I can totally help with that one. So funny. Good, ladies. I love these. Good. Okay, Melissa, I know we did one for you, but I'm actually going to do this because it's that same goblet. It's from the side and it's elevated. So let's go through this. So I've already told you that you definitely need to bring your elbows down. They do not need to be on the side for really anything. Okay? Let me get a good pause. Bam. Do you see how far forward? I'm going to exaggerate the line just a little. See how far forward your hips are pushed? We really want to avoid that. Just stand up as if you were just standing up, just like normally standing, okay? So let me pause it. Like right there. Right there would probably be your stopping position. Let's see how much more you push forward. Bam, you see that? So dangerous for your low spine, okay? The other thing, Melissa, for you, keep your chest up. Definitely keep your chest up. One of your initial movements is actually dropping your chest down. Remember, it's not a fold. Try to keep your chest here the whole time. The whole time in that squat. Keep your chest open and facing forward instead of facing the ground, okay? Nice and controlled, what's it called? 1 1/4 rep. So go down, up, down, stand. Okay, so a little bit slower, a bit more controlled versus a bounce. That was a great one to show. Good. Okay, beautiful, ladies. Let me get some new videos just to make sure that everyone has an opportunity. Britt, oh my God, I love it, girl. I have totally done that with the baby. That's wonderful. Kyla, beautiful job. Let me just give you some love. Okay, Miss Kyla, yay. Ooh, did you say this is a kettlebell swing? Ooh, good. Oh my gosh, good. Okay. This is such a challenging movement. You actually do this quite well. It would be a little bit better to see it from the side. Let me verify you didn't post it from the side. Okay. So for this one, the biggest thing, let me see if I can zoom in. The biggest thing is explosion. So act like I'm holding the kettlebell in front of me at shoulder height. I'm going to bring it down. My wrists, for lack of better words, are like up in my crotch area. Kettlebell comes back. So now I'm slightly bent over, and then I go squeeze my glutes, thrust my hips forward. So the bell naturally thrusts to my shoulder height with momentum versus you lifting it. If you're lifting the kettlebell up, something is going wrong. And it looks like you're just lifting it. This is a very challenging movement. So I want you to bring the kettlebell between your legs as high as possible. And then instead of squatting, you should actually almost be deadlifting. And then you thrust your hips forward and push the kettlebell up with the momentum of your hips, and it naturally swings up to your shoulder height. If you ladies want me to post a video of that one, you just let me know. I'm more than happy to. Okay, good. Yay, Anastasia. Okay, and girlfriend, please feel free to always send these to me in WhatsApp as well. Okay, I love your control. I will say that first and foremost. Beautiful control, full hip extension. What do I mean by that? Just in case anyone has questions. I'm sorry, ladies, that this is so dim. Okay, do you see this beautiful line that she has? And actually, I would even draw it higher. This is perfect. A lot of ladies do this. So the green is the no-no. A lot of ladies have their hips down here. Okay, we really want that full hip extension. This is actually a fantastic video example. Control down, full hip extension, coming all the way down. Beautiful, beautiful job. Okay, I actually see one thing I would correct. Let me have you come back up. Okay. Now, what I would personally say, do you see the angle? Oops, let me get back white. So here's your ankle and here's your knee. I would love to see these one stacked on top of the other. It's going to cause maximum hamstring and glute activation. You have the most stability because you're stacked one on top of the other, so you can lift more. You have more power, more strength, and it's working your glutes and hammies more. So that is my recommendation, is get those stacked one on top of the other. Remember, my basis of lifting and form feedback is functional training. Okay, I'm actually going to do this one as well. Okay, so for this one, you can go a little bit more. Bring your hips up a little bit more into that full extension. You're stopping just a smidge before, just a smidge. Now, this angle looks gorgeous. Very well done, very, very well done. The only other thing I would say, man, it's kind of hard on this little video. Okay, so I like to see the stopping position instead of like this. So actually, I would bring your feet in just slightly. I want you to be like this. More range. Otherwise, it's about a half of rep, only going from here to here versus going from here all the way up here. It's a full range of motion. Now, with the hip thrust, so her eyes are looking up. In normal weight training, I would say yes, perfect, beautiful. However, with the hip thrust, Brett Contreras has actually done quite a few studies that show if your eyes gaze forward, there's more glute activation in this movement pattern. It's so odd. So I always say, keep your eyes facing forward. Nicely done. Okay, ladies, that is all I have time for now. My son is about to walk through the door. Outstanding job. Outstanding job. I will totally do this again, okay, at some point this week. Outstanding job. Well done. Way to post your videos. You guys are absolutely amazing.